So, as we get into this conversation, I think it's important to just take a second to remind ourselves why specifically Donald Trump got banned from Twitter. So, let's take a look at this article from CNN. Twitter bans President Trump permanently. This, of course, was back in January, right after January 6th, when Trump gave a speech telling people to peacefully march to the Capitol, where there is a scheduled, permitted rally, which is why I was at the Capitol that day, to go to the scheduled, permitted rally that some of my friends were supposed to be speaking at, and also just to see what would happen. And Trump basically did the same thing. He said, peacefully march to the Capitol. Now, the specific tweets he got banned for were a couple tweets that he sent following the insurrection. And let's just talk about the fact that now we have actually seen a real legitimate insurrection in Afghanistan. So it actually feels a little bit odd to even call what happened on January 6th an insurrection, because it really wasn't. I mean, let's just face facts. There were at least 50,000 people on that Capitol lawn that day. If they'd wanted to stage a real insurrection, they could have done a lot more damage than they actually did. But that's neither here nor there. Water under the bridge. It's in the past. It's not like I got interviewed by the FBI for sending 2 sarcastic tweets from the Capitol lawn that day. But let's talk about Trump's tweets. What got Trump banned from Twitter? The first tweet was about Trump's supporters. The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America first, and make America great again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. And then the second tweet he sent, to all those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th. Twitter said the tweet concerning inauguration could be viewed as a further statement that the election was not legitimate. It also said the tweet could be interpreted as Trump saying that the inauguration would be a safe target for violence because he would not be attending. I don't think any reasonable person could look at those tweets and, interpret it in that way. But let's just be honest. We all knew Twitter was going to ban Trump as soon as he was out of office anyway. It was absolutely going to happen. They jumped the gun. And that's relevant for a couple reasons. Number one, the Taliban has called out big tech on censorship. I'm going to say that again. The Taliban has called out big tech on censorship. This today, and I'm not going to play the audio of this because it's not in English, but I will link to this video in the description below. The Taliban spokesperson got a question about freedom of speech and said the question should be asked to U.S. companies like Facebook who claim to promote it while still censoring. Let's just take a moment to wrap our heads around the fact that the Taliban is calling out big tech censorship. What is this world in which we live in? But even more bizarre than that, and relevant to the story we just looked at in CNN about why Trump was banned on Twitter, Twitter says it is perfectly fine for the Taliban spokesperson to be on Twitter. Does anyone else have a problem with this? Given that Trump was banned for 2 innocuous tweets, they literally banned the elected president of the United States over 2 innocuous tweets that were stating a position and stating he would not be at the inauguration. But they will not ban the Taliban spokesperson. Twitter says Taliban spokesperson will be allowed to remain if he doesn't get too violent. If he doesn't get too violent, I mean, come on, like a little violence never hurt. An actual insurrection in a country never hurt anyone. Twitter is refusing to join its peers in the social media world in prohibiting the Taliban from using its platform. Asked on Tuesday whether Twitter would join Facebook, TikTok, and other tech companies in banning the terror group, a spokesperson for the company sidestepped the question, saying in a statement it would continue to proactively enforce its rules on the glorification of violence, platform manipulation, and spam. The statement also took a moment to sell the company as a communications platform, saying it was witnessing people in the country using Twitter to seek help and assistance, which may be true, but does not deflect from the actual point, Twitter. Taliban spokesperson, I'm going to butcher this name, Zabihullah Mujahid, maintained an active presence on the website where he enjoyed more than 200,000 followers as of Tuesday. He also is not the group's only member using the social media platform to promote the Taliban's message. An announcement Mujahid posted earlier in the day about a Taliban press conference in Kabul drew messages from some of his supporters, including one that went by the name Mahabrid Ibrahim. Ibrahim's history on the website showed that he used his account in July to provide advice to one self-proclaimed 26-year-old Bangladeshi man seeking to join the group. "I want to join the Taliban," the man wrote in July 14th message. "Please help me." And he responded, "They go to Afghanistan, but first parent permission." I'm guessing that's permission. Twitter drew fire from critics who noted that allowing the Taliban to remain on the platform stood in contrast with the company's January move to impose a lifetime ban on former President Donald Trump, including Representative Madison Cawthorn. Why on God's green earth does the Taliban spokesperson have an active Twitter account, but not the former president of the United States? Cawthorn wrote on Sunday, "Whose side is the America-based big tech company on?" French politician Jerome echoed the statement from across the Atlantic, saying, "Freedom and democracy are not doing well when Twitter continues to ban Trump's account, but relays the Taliban spokespersons without any second thought." The company added in a statement, "Twitter's top priority is keeping people safe, and we remain vigilant." Let's just look at this one more time, because I just can't get over this. The Taliban spokesperson got a question about freedom of speech and said the question should be asked to U.S. companies like Facebook, who claim to promote it while censoring. Wouldn't it have been wonderful if he had said Twitter there as well, but Facebook will have to take it good enough for right now. So I'm just going to let that speak for itself. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this glorious contradiction in any sort of ethics at all, Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, I do content every single day around news, politics, culture. Really anything that I find interesting, focusing mostly on the woke stuff, but tech censorship is also something I dip into every now and again when it makes sense. I do post content almost every single day, with sometimes the exception of I take the weekends off, or I post less content on the weekends. So check back every single day if you're looking for new stuff, but make sure you subscribe. If you think you're subscribed, just double check, because sometimes YouTube likes to make that decision for you. Turn on notifications. That's a great way to make sure, or at least have a better chance of actually being served my content. Leave a comment, share it out with your friends, all that good stuff. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you soon.